Let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to welcome everybody here this evening to our second installment of the Fall Sports Banquets. On Tuesday this week, we had the football cheer and Emerald Banquet, and we're here back again 2 days later to celebrate the individual and team accomplishments of our volleyball, cross, and girls golf teams. So these banquets are always some of my favorite events throughout the course of the season because it's a great time to sit and enjoy and reflect on, like I said, the accomplishments, but also the stories of things that happen throughout the course of the year, the memories that the kids make throughout the course of the year. Because I tell kids and coaches all the time that the wins and losses are important right now, but down the road when you're mothers and fathers and you're remembering your seasons that you had, you don't remember those wins and losses necessarily as much as you do. You'll remember some of them, but you won't remember those as much as you will the bus rides, the locker rooms, the meals, and the bonding that you do with your teams and your coaches. So this is one of those opportunities to bond and to reflect and look back at all the great things that happened throughout the course of the fall season. We're going to eat, which is everybody's favorite time. But before we do that, I'm going to invite Emma Gegg to the podium to do tonight's invocation.
Dear Lord, as we gather here today for this sports banquet, we thank you for the opportunity to come together in celebration of our shared love for sports. We thank you for keeping all of our athletes safe and healthy through our seasons, and we ask you to bless this food and nourish our bodies. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Great job. That was very nice.
Fantastic job, Emma. All right. So, like any other time, the head table will eat first, but after the head table goes up, I had a little helper help me pick. I won't blame that person or look at that person. The table that gets to eat first is table 1. There you go. The table that gets to eat next is table 3. And then table 2. They're more excited than you guys were. I should make them go first. And then I'm sorry, table 4, but you guys will end it up for us. All right, head table going up. Going. The coaches are going to do a lot of the thank yous this evening, so I won't do very many, but I did want to take an opportunity to thank just a few people. First of all, we have our chicken and our cookies brought in from Country Mart, but we have 4 of our cooks that do the salad, they prepare the corn and the mashed potatoes, and they come in the evening to do that for us. So a thank you to Jordan Mueller and her crew. A nice round of applause for them. And our booster officers, we have 4 booster officers that donate a lot of their time, and it's strictly a donation because they don't get paid anything to do it. It's just out of the goodness of their heart. They spend a lot of time with meetings and setting up for banquets, but most of their time that they spend is setting up concessions. They have to come in for all of our home games, and one of them has to get concessions ready for the workers that come in. So they spend a lot of time, and again, it's on a volunteer basis, and we greatly appreciate all the hard work that they do throughout the course of the school year for our athletes. And those people are Andrea Fritsch, Rob Coleman, Deanne, what's her name? Squires, thank you. Glad she's not here. Don't tell her. Deanne Squires and Amanda Bly, and this is why I should write stuff down. And Christy Fleeman. Those are our booster officers, and again, they do a tremendous job, and we greatly appreciate everything they do. I couldn't do this without them. So tonight, we're going to go in the order of cross country, volleyball, and then girls golf. I'm going to introduce the coaches really quick, and then we'll turn it over to cross country to get things kicking. To my far left is our cross country coach, and that is Sierra Boyd. To her right, our girls golf coach, Rachel McDaniel. On the right side is our volleyball coaches. To my immediate right, our head volleyball coach, Carla Bosler. And one of our new assistants to us from Salem, originally from AV, right? Assistant coach, Kristen Barnes. And our freshman coach, Miss Lacey Ritter. All right, and with that, it's time for me to turn it over to our coaches. So, Coach Boyd, come on up and let's hear about your season.
Good evening, everyone. I'm thankful we were able to gather to celebrate our cross-country season and volleyball and golf seasons. For starters, I would like to say that I'm grateful for all the support I received. We held our first alumni event this fall, and it was great to see and hear the joy the alumni still have from their time in the cross-country program. We held the second annual Brian Jett Middle School Invitational, and I'm honored to be able to be carrying on the tradition that Coach Jett started at St. Genevieve. Thank you to all our parents for driving your kids to bus departures or home from practices, contributing to pasta dinners, working concessions, supporting them at races, and so many more things. Thank you to Corey Samples for getting the middle school kids excited, and for the high schoolers for dealing with the middle schoolers being with us so much this year. Thank you to Dr. Nix for all he does to keep athletics going, and to our administration. Thank you to my husband John for all his support throughout the season. I'm almost done with the thank yous. The Herald staff for all of their coverage, and the other media outlets. And a big thank you to Jess Fowler, who continued to teach our athletes new stretches to ward off their aches and pains. I would like to go over a review of our season before we go on to our individual athletes. Our first race was at Arcadia Valley, and it was nice to start the season at the athletes' favorite course. Simon, Zerwig, and Casey ran season PRs at this meet. Our next race was the Bismarck Invitational. This was the first year we raced this meet, and several athletes earned the unique medals, which were wooden and in the shape of an arrowhead. Our next meet was the Postal Meet in Farmington. Everyone on the team performed very well, and it fueled excitement for what kind of paces they were capable of running the rest of the season. Moving on to the next race, we went to Cape Notre Dame. It was brutally hot and a tough day. I was proud of the athletes for being able to move past this, since we would race districts later in the season at this course. The following week, we raced at Potosi, which doubled as the conference meet. Holland earned all conference honors as she placed third in the conference, and Cece and Haley ran season PRs at Potosi. Our final race before districts was the Farmington Invitational. Everyone had good races here, and it was good to close off the regular season racing. Sophia and Michaela ran season PRs at this race. The district meet was cool and misty, but everyone brought a positive mentality to race that day. Earlier in the week, we had talked about our goals for the meet and were determined to race our best. I was very proud of the athletes having such positive and motivated mindsets. The boys raced first, and they really left it all out on the course. Gavin Gegg and Adam both finished the season with a PR, which was a challenge given the course layout. The girls raced next, and they ran the best they could as well. The competition was tough, and the girls' team placed fifth, which was one spot away from qualifying for state as a team. Caden and Brianna both ran season PRs at the district meet. Holland, Caden, and Lori earned all district honors by placing 6th, 25th, and 27th, and individually qualified for the state meet. We had beautiful weather this year at the state meet. You really missed it, Nix. He came last year when it was brutally cold. But this year was beautiful, and we were able to preview the course on Friday, and Class 3 raced first on Saturday morning. Holland placed 21st in the state meet and earned all state honors. Caden and Lori were able to gain state level competition experience, and Holland and Lori ran season PRs at the state meet. Overall, we had a great season. Several runners gained confidence throughout the season, and I'm eager to see them continue to grow. I would now like to recognize each of the athletes individually. Before I start, I have to say that there's no way to be able to sum up all of the wacky quirks and hard work that you all showed this season, such as making me bring a toaster to the state meet so you could have your bagels toasted in the morning. But I want you all to know that I saw the growth in each one of you and want you to find the drive to continue on. As I call your name, please come up to the front, and Coach McDaniel will help us with your awards. We had a small boys team this year, but they each gave their best effort and showed improvements over the course of the season. Simon pushed out of his comfort zone to race in varsity races throughout the season. Freshman Simon Fritsch. Gavin Gegg brings a lighthearted and still persistent demeanor to practice with him each day. Sophomore Gavin Gegg. Gavin Zerwig is enthusiastic about building his mileage and working towards his running goals. Sophomore Gavin Zerwig. Adam was a good leader and always gave his best. Senior Adam Oder. And let's have one more round of applause for the boys cross country team. You can stay. All right, let's move on to the girls team. Michaela was enthusiastic at practice and stayed encouraged throughout the season. Freshman Michaela Karen. Lori gained great racing experience this season, and I hope she continues to build her confidence. Freshman Lori Parker. Cece pushed herself throughout the season to overcome challenges she didn't know she could accomplish at the beginning of the season. Sophomore Cecilia Mooney. Brianna showed a new determination this season and gave her best effort each day. Junior Brianna Mitchell. Sophia always has a positive attitude and is a caring teammate. Junior Sophia Fritsch. Caden showed determination and grit to finish the season strong. Junior Caden Hook. Holland is determined and competitive and gives her best for every workout. Junior Holland Zangaro. Let's have a round of applause for the girls cross country team. Every one of the athletes standing in front of you showed determination and grit all season, and I'm proud of each of them. I hope they continue to find strength within themselves as they continue to run and compete. Now that they have each been recognized, I have a few awards to hand out. Our first award is the Most Improved Award. Each athlete improved over the course of the season, but a couple stood out by the season accomplishments and growth shown. Our first recipient of this award earned this by doing what was asked of her without complaint and grew stronger all season long. The Most Improved Award goes to Cecilia Mooney. Our second recipient of the Most Improved Award earned this through learning her racing ability through the season and by gaining state-level racing experience. This Most Improved Award also goes to Lori Parker. The next award is the Runner of the Year. This athlete earned all conference honors by placing third in the conference, all district honors by placing sixth in Class 3 District 1 race, and all state honors by placing 21st at the Class 3 state meet. This award goes to Holland Zangaro. The final award is the Heart of a Dragon Award. This award represents determination, positive attitude, and fighting spirit. This athlete helped create a good team atmosphere, continuously encouraged teammates throughout the season, and showed a positive and determined attitude while working through the season. This award goes to Adam Oder. Thank you for helping us to celebrate this season's growth and achievements with us. I look forward to these athletes continuing to build upon the tradition of SGHS cross country.
Great job, cross country. You always forget how hard those kids work at their events till you get there to watch them. I went to Notre Dame both times they were there this year, and as Coach said, the first one was extremely hot. These kids are running over 3 miles, isn't it, for a cross country course? I'm sweating when I get out of the car, and they're running 3 miles, and it's just, you sit there and think that I couldn't even do a quarter of this race, and these kids are running almost full speed. So a lot of respect for them and their sport, and I don't know why they do it, but good for you guys. Okay, moving on to volleyball. We're going to do freshmen first. Is that right? Okay, so freshmen first with Coach Ritter, then on to JV, and then on to varsity season. So, Coach Ritter, you're up.
Good evening, and welcome everyone. Please join me in welcoming to the front our 2023 freshman volleyball team. Middle hitter and left back defense number 3, Lily Crossland. Setter and right side hitter number 7, Lucy Gay. Setter and right side hitter number 8, Allison Boyette. Defensive specialist number 18, Rhea Kreitler. Middle hitter number 21, Grace Bird. Defensive specialist number 23, Maggie Price. Outside hitter and middle back defense number 25, Chloe Weiner. Outside hitter and left back defense number 29, Audrey Gay. And then our libero number 33, Catherine Herzog. Girls, I know that our record this season may not reflect the true growth and skills that each and every one of you has shown on the volleyball court, but it's important to remember, and this is coming from a very competitive person, that volleyball is not just about the wins and losses. It's about the journey we take together as a team. I've seen the dedication and hard work that you all have all put into improving your skills, the countless hours of practice, and the support you give each other both on and off the court. These are the things that truly matter and define our success as a team. Focus on the progress you've made, the bonds you've formed, and the resilience you've shown. I believe in each and every one of you. Keep pushing yourselves, supporting one another, and embracing the growth mindset. But more important, have fun and make every moment count. And now for a few thank yous. To the parents, thank you for your tremendous support and for being the girls' chauffeurs to and from practice, camps, games, tournaments, all the above. To Dr. Nix, thank you for all the behind-the-scene works of scheduling games, getting the gym ready, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. To Coach Bosler and Coach Barnes, thank you too for accepting me and making me a better coach. I've learned so much in just my 2 short years here of coaching. Sadly, I will no longer be coaching next year due to my growing family. Sorry. But I know whoever takes my replacement, or whoever is my replacement, won't be as funny, but I know you 3 will make a great team and continue to build the program. Sorry. Pregnancy hormones. And to my girls, thank you. You girls honestly could have made my 2nd year of coaching any easier. You girls are resilient, hardworking, and all-around good humans. Another thank you to the parents. Thank you, girls, for giving me the privilege to coach you. All of you will hold a special place in my heart, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds. Oh, God. I look forward to coming to games and watching you girls play, no longer in the coaching role, but still as your #1 fan. Thank you, and go Dragons.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight to recognize these amazing athletes. I am so thankful to be given an opportunity to be a part of this community and coach these amazing young ladies. I want to say some thank yous to obviously the girls first. You guys have been so welcoming and so much fun to coach, and I am so grateful to have been given this opportunity. I also want to thank Coach Bosler, Coach Ritter, for being so welcoming as well and helping me grow. I'm very thankful for everything that you guys have taught me and helped me with this season. I'm excited for next season already. I also want to say thank you to Dr. Nix and our amazing administrators for everything that you guys do for our program. You guys are awesome. And thank you especially you parents for everything you guys do for your kiddos, for everything you guys do for our program. Without you, I don't know what we would do. So thank you guys for all that you do. Now I'd like to call up the girls one by one. So if you guys would please come up here when I call your name. So Lily Crossland. Allison Boyette. Grace Bird. Lucy Gay. Audrey Gay. Chloe Weiner. Emmy Brown. Millie Huffman. Kyra Kreitler. Vivian Kiefer. Bree Foff. Miley Harmon. Aubrey Joggers. Maya Klein. Lucy Hunsley. Kennedy Fisher. And Taylor Peterson. These girls were a true joy to coach, and I am so thankful to have been their coach and helped them grow as athletes, but most importantly as young women. Our season was a roller coaster at times because of the tough and strong teams that we played all season, but this only made us better as a team. One thing that these girls never did was hang their head, and they never gave up. They came to practice every day with a smile on their faces, eager to learn and to get better. I believe their determination and positive attitudes are why we were able to finish our season strong with a big win over Fredericktown at the end of the season. We finished the season 9-14-2, and I could not be more proud of this team. Thank you guys for all your hard work, and I cannot wait to see what you guys accomplish next season.
Good evening. Welcome to the Fall Sports Banquet. I also would like to start off by thanking very many people who have made volleyball season not only possible, but a great joy. To the players, who I had an honor coaching again this past season, I applaud all your countless hours that you put into the weight room and in the gym that you put in all season long. Your hard work, grit, and dedication to continuously improve throughout the season was incredibly fun for me to coach, and I enjoyed getting to see the tremendous amount of growth happen, practice to practice, and game to game. I love watching all your hard work pay off. We did get there. I would also like to thank my coaching staff, Coach Barnes and Coach Ritter. Unless you've been in a coach's shoes, it's really hard to fathom the amount of hours spent outside of practices and games to prepare and make the girls as successful as possible. So Coach Barnes and Coach Ritter, I cannot thank you enough for the many countless hours you have dedicated to this program, from spending time away from your own families to plan and attend our team building activities, to plan practices for freshmen and JV girls, to build strong and meaningful relationships with all of our athletes, taking stats, and so much more. Your time, energy, and advice has always been very much appreciated. I value you both more than you know. I feel incredibly blessed to be able to work alongside the both of you. Your passion and love for the game and our athletes is incredible. I couldn't have been blessed with a better coaching staff, whom I enjoy working with so much. Thank you. To our team managers, Anna, Sadie, and Ava, Thanks for keeping the stats during our games and setting up the camera. Anna, you saved me so many times because it's about the 5th set when I realized, did somebody turn on the camera? And Anna always had me covered. So I really, really appreciate you guys taking care of those little things so that I didn't have to worry about it. We appreciate everything that you did. You were vital to the team's success. And I just really appreciate you so much. To Dr. Nix, for getting the gym set up and ready for every home game, answering my countless questions, but most importantly, I thank you because you are always such a great listener. I truly appreciate all the advice you give, and you are such a great voice of reason. I am sincerely grateful to have you in my corner. To the administrators, Dr. Boyd and Mr. Schnabel, for your endless amount of support. To Jess Fowler, who continues to help out with our injuries and tape up athletes when needed. To Tyler from Potential Therapy and Keta from Mid-American Rehab for seeing our athletes and getting them the right course of treatment to help get them back on the court as quickly as possible. To you parents, thank you for entrusting this coaching staff with your most precious gifts. Please know that I love your girls more than words can express. I am beyond blessed to get to work with such amazing young ladies. I also thank you for your dedication to this team, with driving to numerous camps, finding ways to get your child to practices, especially those early morning ones, supporting our games, constantly washing uniforms, and there were a lot of uniforms this year, providing us with delicious team meals, and working concessions. I'm truly grateful for your support to your daughters. They are incredible young women, and that's a true testament to you all as parents. Next, I'd like to thank the various media outlets, Michael Boyd at the Herald, Jared Pettis at KFMO, Griffin Weinberg at KTJJ, Don Pritchard at Sometimes News, and Matt King at the Daily Journal for publishing articles and posting scores. And a huge thank you to our own SGHS media class. A special thank you to Mr. Schweiss for getting our home games streamed for our at-home viewers. Thank you for providing our community with such a great service. We appreciate it. Dr. Smith, thank you for running the video board. I'm pretty sure it's the girls' favorite part. I know I do not have their focus when that gets played, when their video is played during our timeouts, and that's okay because, you know, it's all about the atmosphere, and you create a great atmosphere for us, so thank you. I also need to thank all the workers that help out at games. There's quite a few of you that just step in last minute typically for me, and I appreciate your willingness just to say yes. So our line judges this year who helped out was Aaron Stoll, Jason Noble, Larry Foff, and Ann Reynolds. Our score table workers, Kelly Sikowski and Aaron Stoll, and bookkeepers, Regina McDaniel and Tina Hook. You all make my life way easier and always willing to help out when needed, and for that I'm extremely grateful and truly blessed to have so many people willing to make our game atmosphere run smoothly. And lastly, I would like to thank my family. This is not possible without them. To my parents and my father-in-law who have supported me in pursuing my love of the game, without their help taking care of my boys, coaching is not possible. To my husband, Kyle, and my kids, Landon and Holden, thank you so much for allowing me to pursue my passion and for allowing me to spend the majority of my time teaching and coaching other people's kids. It is a true sacrifice that I'm extremely grateful for. Now, let's bring these amazing young ladies up here and recognize their accomplishments for the 2023 volleyball season. So our varsity letter winners this year, managers Anna Fisher, Sadie Grimminger, and Ava Huber. Freshman, number 2, Emmy Brown. Emmy had a great first season. Emmy began the season primarily as a 6th rotation starter for JV, playing outside hitter and left back defense. Emmy's work ethic and ability to give it everything she has when she hits the floor earned her an opportunity to work her way into the varsity lineup. Week by week, Emmy kept showing consistency and eventually worked her way into a 6th rotation varsity rotation. She ended the season playing a little bit of everywhere. She hit either outside or right side for us and played right back defense. She set on occasion. She ended up playing in 64 sets, had 99 service points, 18 aces, 43 kills, a .092 hitting percentage, 82 assists, 143 service receptions, and 120 digs. Thank you for your willingness to play wherever was needed of you without complaint. You embody what it means to be truly coachable, and I look forward to watching you grow in the next 3 years. Next, I'll bring up our sophomores, number 27, Kennedy Fisher. Kennedy began dressing varsity around the last half of the season. Kennedy again was a 6th rotation player for JV. She did a tremendous job in whatever role Coach Barnes asked her to fulfill each night. Her consistent play, work ethic, strong consistent serve, great hustle and leadership is what earned her a spot to be on varsity. Kennedy was a player who I could trust to put in to serve and play a left back defensive spot if we needed to mix something up. Kennedy handled this role really well. I understand how nerve-wracking it can be just to quickly be thrown in and be asked to serve, but Kennedy always did a nice job, and I look forward to coaching Kennedy in the future and watching you grow. Number 13, Bree Foff. Bree is another kid who is extremely coachable. She wants to get better. She constantly asks questions and works extremely hard to make corrections on the very next attempt. Bree began dressing varsity about halfway through the season. She did earn some playing time at the conference tournament when we had an injury, and Bree did such a great job stepping in. She worked extremely hard to close every block and make herself an available option. I look forward to seeing the growth and improvements that Bree will make within the next 2 years. Number 11, Vivian Kiefer. Vivi had a very important role on our varsity squad. She did end up serving in one rotation and play some left back defense for us. Viv ended up putting up a very consistent and aggressive serve each and every night, and she ended up playing in 52 varsity sets. When she wasn't doing that, she was running a 5-1 on the JV side, and she did a tremendous job doing that as well. At the varsity end, she ended up with 63 service points, 10 aces, a 95.7 serving percentage, which ended up being second highest on the team, which is pretty impressive. So very nice job, and 17 digs. Viv understood her role and embraced it very well. She worked extremely hard at practice to perfect her float serve and to learn the correct defensive positions for left back. Viv has a tremendous work ethic and passion for the game, and I look forward to seeing you again next season. Number 5, Emma Geck. Emma was a 6th rotation player for us this year. Emma played outside hitter and left back defense. At times, whether due to team injuries or based on the opponents we were matched up against, Emma had to play right side for us. She did this without complaint and worked hard no matter where she was asked to play. We needed a taller block, but being moved to the right side also meant that she probably was going to receive less sets because as an outside hitter, they typically receive the majority of sets when the pass is off. That's kind of the go-to option because it's where we can put the ball. And so they just see more on any team. Emma didn't care where she played, and coaches always look for these types of selfless players to step onto the court. Thanks for being completely selfless, Emma, and playing for the good of the team. Emma always played with a fierce competitive spirit. She hustled and worked hard at all times. Emma played in all varsity sets, had 150 service points, 25 aces, a 94.9% service percentage, 225 kills, a .113 hitting percentage, 324 service receptions, 16 total blocks, and 19 digs. Emma became more and more consistent for us as the season progressed, and it was fun to watch her confidence grow this season as well. I'm excited to continue to get to work with you the next 2 seasons. And now I'll bring up our juniors. Number 34, Piper Estes. Piper's work ethic is tremendous. She puts forth maximum effort in all drills that we work on. She can constantly ask questions to help her skills get better. I have seen an incredible amount of growth in Piper this season. Piper knew going into the season that she might not get very much playing time, but this didn't stop her from working hard each and every day. I commend you, Piper, for your resiliency and your grit, because these girls do put in a lot of time and energy in the off-season and throughout the entire season. For Piper to stick through it, knowing what her playing time looks like, shows you what an incredibly strong and special kid Piper is. I'm glad you stuck through it, and I'm glad you were part of the team. Your strong work ethic will take you very far in life. I'm very proud of you. Number 30, Grace Joggers. Grace was a utility player for us this year. She is a player who could be trusted in any position, especially when others needed a reset. Grace worked hard at practice to get better at all aspects of her game. She played in 39 sets, had 42 service points, 8 aces, a 92.7 serving percentage, 16 service receptions, and 10 digs. Grace had a challenging role this season because she never knew game to game what her role would be. She just had to be ready for anything. She handled this role with grace and dignity. I love your ability to lift your teammates up. Her role this year required her to be extremely selfless, and I'm proud of you for the way that you took on this role. I'm excited to see your continued growth next season. Number 24, Kaylin Fallert. Kaylin played both right side hitter and middle hitter for us this season. Kaylin puts up a tremendous big block, which is crucial to have against other teams' outside hitters. Moving Kaylin to the right side for a couple of rotations allowed us to exploit this strength of hers. Kaylin ended up playing in 89 sets. She had 62 kills with a .016 hitting percentage. She ended up with 8 assists and 24 total blocks. Playing right side was a new role for Kaylin this season, and I'm excited to see Kaylin's growth from all front row positions. If Kaylin is willing to continue to work hard, she has the potential to be a great offensive weapon for us next season. She has literally one of the quickest snaps on top of the ball that I've ever seen, and I look forward to helping you build your consistency for us next season. Number 15, Kale Clements. Kale was a 6th position player for us. She played middle back and hit from both the outside and middle. Kale worked hard at both practices and gave her all in games. Kale played very composed. If she struggled offensively, then she didn't let it affect her defensive game, and she continued to work through the struggle. She didn't shut down. This is a testament to her strong mental mindset, which is hard to achieve as a young player. Kale became a stronger communicator on the floor and learned how to read much quicker and accurately on defense as the season progressed. She played in all sets, had 182 service points, 41 aces, a 95.8 serving percentage, 200 kills, a .146 hitting percentage, 21 assists, 335 service receptions, 36 total blocks, and 293 digs. Again, Kale has a strong work ethic, and I look forward to her growth next season as she continues to gain even more consistency on both the offense and defensive side of the ball. Number 12, Sophia Hook. Soph ended up with an injury halfway through the season, which took her out for about 3 weeks. We were able to get Soph back for the last couple of games just in time for districts. Soph is a strong player for us. She has both great hands for setting, and she puts up a really good-sized block on the right side. She ended up playing in 61 sets, had 60 service points, 12 aces, a 90.8 serving percentage, 84 kills, a .069 hitting percentage, 260 assists, 50 service receptions, 12 total blocks, and 110 digs. And that's pretty impressive for only playing about 2/3 of the matches this year, so those are great numbers. Soph is a strong communicator on and off the floor. It was nice to see Soph communicating on the bench during her injury. She still tried to find ways for her team to win even when she couldn't physically be playing. That's a true teammate. I look forward to seeing you continue to grow next season and watch you grow to be a stronger, better player for us. Number 10, Kaylin Harmon. Okay, so for Kaylin, I looked up what I said about her last year because I thought I was kind of spot on. And so this is what I said about you last year at the sports banquet. Kaylin has a powerful swing that will be very effective for us next season. I can't wait to see the growth you'll make next season. And oh boy, she stepped up this season for us as a middle hitter. After losing our starting middle last season, Kaylin had big shoes to fill. She worked extremely hard in the off-season and at practices to get better, stronger, faster. Middle's job is never easy, but she did a great job making herself available to be a hitter and worked extremely hard to close each and every block. She played 89 sets, had 254 kills, a .177 hitting percentage with 34 total blocks. She earned second team all-district honors this season, and I was right. That powerful swing, I knew it was going to come around, and I can't wait to see your swing continue to grow. but more importantly, I love to see your work ethic and your attitude blossom this season, and I can't wait to get more of all of that next season. Number 4, Jolie Parker. Jolie was a 6th rotation player for us this season. If there's one word to describe Joe, it would be determination. Joe is everywhere out on the floor, both in practice and in games, which explains the big hole in her jersey, right? She is fun to watch as she hustles everywhere on the court, plays extremely smart, mixing the ball around as both a setter and hitter. She does all this with a big smile on her face. Joe is one of the extremely coachable players who continuously improves year after year. She leads by examples. She played in all sets this season with 150 service points, 25 aces, an 88.6 serving percentage, 104 kills, a .132 hitting percentage, 16 total blocks, 544 assists, 103 service receptions, and 269 digs. Joe earned the NAAA All-Conference honors and was named second team All-District this season. Joe always did what was asked of her without hesitation. Sometimes she ran a 5-1 and set all the way around, and sometimes it was a 6-2. Sometimes a modified variation of those two things. And never once did Joe complain. She just did what was asked of her with all of her effort. I look forward to watching you for one more season. And number 1, Abby Boyer. Abby was our libero this season. Abby is like a sponge. She absorbs whatever you tell her during practices and games, and she works extremely hard to make those corrections. The amount of growth Abby made throughout the season is outstanding, and this growth is because of her ability to never give up, to keep working hard, to constantly ask what she needs to work on. Abby always had a positive attitude and mindset at practices and games. Abby became a strong communicator on the court and was always someone who did a great job uplifting her teammates and staying positive. She played in all sets, had 184 service points, 25 aces, 94.7 serving percentage, 496 service receptions, 315 digs. I'm very proud of the player you became this season and look forward to seeing all that you achieve next season, and I can't wait to watch you continue to be that positive light out on the court. All right, now to recall our 2023 season together. And season for us really kind of begins in March with off-season conditioning and goes all the way through the middle of October. So this is a long season. And it shows you just how dedicated all these volleyball girls are to this team and to this sport. In the off-season, we focus on getting stronger, creating individual and team goals, and we focus on team building. We knew from the beginning that this would be a rebuilding season after losing 7 seniors. With only 2 returners having any varsity experience, we would need time to grow and time to improve. Throughout the summer, I could see the tremendous potential that these young ladies possessed, but it was going to take time figuring out how to play next to new people and figure out how to jive together and learn to trust one another. In the beginning of the season, if you came and watched, you would have noticed a lot of unsureness. This was expected, as many of the girls did not have any of that varsity experience. Time, again, is what they needed. We started the season off slow with a 4-12 record. Now, it would be easy to throw in the towel, to give up on the season. However, the girls just worked harder, and they were not willing to give up. I also think that each season there is this determining game or moment that can change a season either for the good or the bad. And I believe we had this turning point this year against our loss to St. Vincent. In my mind, this was a difficult loss because it was one that I felt like was one that we had beat ourselves. One that we should have walked away with the W. And now I say this is a turning point because after this game, I shared with the girls the amount of errors we made. Right before we played Farmington, we had a nice little team powwow, and it was a good powwow. And when I calculated the breakdown of errors per set, it was quite obvious that no team could expect to win. Against St. Vincent, we lost in 5 sets and had a total of 80 errors. That averaged to 16 points a set, and a former coaching colleague of mine wanted to remind me that in set 5 you only played a 15. So, I mean, that's a ton of errors. I discussed these errors with the players not to humiliate them or berate them, but to get the girls to understand that we were truly beating ourselves out on the court. Our game plan needed to be to play smarter and better the ball each play. Sometimes we would swing for the fences on a ball that we just needed to keep in play. After the St. Vincent loss, our focus was on minimizing our errors. We improved little by little and played much better volleyball in the month of October. In September, we had a 29% winning percentage. And in October, our winning percentage was up around 56%. We were able to finish the season 12, 17, and 1, and we were able to beat Potosi, who was a strong opponent in our conference. We took Park Hills to 5 sets in our district matchup after losing to them in 3 quick sets at the end of November. I'm proud of your perseverance, your grit, and determination to never give up on each other. One of the greatest compliments, and I haven't shared this with you girls yet, at least I don't think I did. One of the greatest compliments I received this year was from one of our district officials. And this was an official who had not reffed us this season, but had reffed us multiple times last year. He knew what our record was this season, but couldn't fathom how that could be our record, because this team reminded him so much of last year's state appearance team. Girls, if you are willing to continue to work hard, trust the process, and play together, then fun things are in store for you next season. Okay, now we're going to get on to the medals and the awards, and I'm going to try to wrap this up a lot quicker so that we can hear about golf. All right, best serving percentage with a 95.8%, squeaking out because the second person had a 95.7%, is Miss Kale Clements. The most aces, with 41 aces, also goes to Miss Kale Clements. Most digs, I think this was by 4. I'd have to go back and check, but with 319 digs, Miss Emma Geck. Most assists, with 544 this season, Miss Jolie Parker. Most blocks, and again, I think this one was by 2, was 36 blocks with Kale Clements. And most kills with 254, Kaylin Harmon. Okay, so next the coaches and I would like to recognize the players who exhibit the 10 behaviors that we as individuals can control that doesn't require really any talent, yet have a huge impact on a team's success. 1, being on time. 2, work ethic. 3, effort. 4, positive body language. 5, this positive, upbeat energy. 6, a positive attitude. 7, passion. 8, being coachable. 9, doing extra. And 10, being prepared. The coaches voted together for 2 individuals from the freshman, JV, and varsity teams, so 2 people from each of those squads that exhibited those 10 habits. These athletes were truly coachable. They always had a great attitude, whether at practice or games. They worked extremely hard in the weight room. In each and every drill at practice, they gave maximum effort in games. These players constantly asked questions to get better. They might have asked to get in extra reps before practice or before games. Sometimes these players asked to spend time after practice working on specific skills to gain consistency. So the 6 individuals that the coaches would like to recognize for being most coachable this season are freshman Lily Crossland, freshman Chloe Wiener, sophomore and JV player Kennedy Fisher, sophomore and JV player Vivian Keeper, and junior varsity player Abby Boyer, and junior varsity player Kale Clements. Okay, I have 3 final awards, and these were the awards that were voted on by the players. The first award is our Heart and Hustle Award. Heart and hustle is a saying that we use that means that no other team is going to out-hustle us or play with more intensity or passion for the game. This is really the ultimate team player. When we step onto the court and do those 2 things, then no matter the outcome of the match, we can hold our heads high. To win this award, one must always give 110% out on the court and in practice. When things look bleak, this is the person who is lifting everyone up. This is the ultimate positive teammate. This is the person who has sacrificed their body over and over again to make an amazing play out of something that seemed impossible. The individual voted by her teammates received over 60% of the votes from her peers. This player always leads by example by hustling everywhere on the court, often sacrificing her body and her jersey for the ball. This was a 6th rotation player, and we needed her smart choices, her grit to get to everything, and her strong leadership at all times. She was a true leader on and off the court. She never complained about playing multiple different positions, often changing game to game. I remember pulling this player into a one-on-one conversation, telling her that I needed to mix some things up and to try some new rotations. I asked her how she would feel if I changed her role, and I provided her with some different scenarios of things that I might want to try and how they would affect her. Her response was always with a smile, and she said, "I'm willing to do whatever is needed." This is the individual who was always willing to put the team needs above her own. When things changed, she never once pouted or had a negative attitude. She just worked extremely hard to be the best player and teammate that she could. Sometimes we needed her to run a 5-1, but at times, depending on who we were playing, we would switch to a 6-2 and had her hit as well, because why not? She never complained. She just did what was needed of her, and she always does what is asked of her with a big old smile on her face. She epitomizes what it means to be a true teammate, how to be selfless, and how to be extremely coachable. Jolie, your heart for this team. Your heart for this team and this sport is tremendous. Your leadership is truly amazing, and I am so proud of the young lady that you are. I'm excited to watch you continue to grow next season. Your tremendous heart and hustle will lead you far in life, not just in volleyball. So always give it your all. If you haven't already, Jolie, please come forward to receive your Heart and Hustle Award. Very well deserved. Our next award is the Most Improved Award. Most Improved goes to the athlete who has shown the most growth within a season. This starts day one of the off-season conditioning to the end of the season. The individual who shows the most improvement has to have a tremendous work ethic, a focus on getting better, and dedication. Now, as a collective whole, we have made lots of improvements this year as we began our season to a slow start, but then found our groove and consistency and continually improved as a team. We did have 5 athletes nominated for this award, which I think shows you the tremendous amount of growth that had happened. However, the players recognized 2 individuals who made the most leaps and bounds and improvement this season. So this one's going to be a shared award, both very well deserved. One of the recipients was a 6th rotation player, while the other was a utility role player for us this season, who didn't always see as much court time each night, just depended. The girls recognized the amount of work both of these players put forth, not only in games, but especially in practice. The first recipient of the Most Improved Award goes to someone who is a well-rounded player that continued to get better in all aspects of the game. She was able to fill all rotations at practice to help us get ready for games. My favorite memory of this athlete is when we were preparing for a team that had a really strong left-handed hitter. We try as much as we can when preparing for an upcoming opponent to make practice imitate what our opponent is likely to do. Well, we do not have a left-handed player, so this player decided to step in for us instead. For never hitting left-handed, it really wasn't too bad, and I appreciated her willingness to try. And I think that example shows you how hard this athlete is willing to work. She was determined to hit left-handed and be that imitation we were seeking. I hope that this athlete continues to work hard and do whatever is needed. You didn't have an easy role this year as our main utility player, but you kept grinding to get better. Grace, I am very proud of you and pleased that your fellow teammate have noticed the improvements that you have made this season. I am excited to see the improvements that you will continue to make next season. Congratulations on being named the Most Improved Co-Player this season. The second recipient played both front and back row for us. She became a reliable option for the setter to set on the outside. She worked hard in practice to master her different types of hits. In the beginning of the season, she could primarily hit cross-court, but by the end of the season, she crafted her line shot and was able to effectively mix in off-speed shots as well. She worked incredibly hard, perfecting her swing, and often heard me harp about keeping her elbow up. As the season progressed, I didn't need to remind her near as much about keeping that elbow up. Now, her offense was strong and steadily improving, but her defense was really fun to watch. She did a great job putting herself in a position to play the ball. Nothing was better than watching the other team wail on the ball and then watching this player dig it up like it was nothing. Emma, you have made a tremendous stride this season. Your hard work is paying off, and I'm excited to see the growth that you'll continue to make in the next 2 seasons. Congratulations on being named Most Improved Co-Player of the Year. Our last award is the overall MVP. The way I explained the most valuable player to the girls is that without this player, our entire season could have or would have been different. And don't get me wrong, there is more than one individual who could fit this description, as all of our players are valuable. However, there was one individual who received over 60% of the votes, which I think truly shows the value of this individual. This person was a 6th position starter. She ran our offense the majority of the time this season. She did an outstanding job mixing the ball around and making smart setting choices. This player also worked extremely hard on her offensive game to provide us with a great swing from the outside for 1 rotation. She focused on creating a faster arm swing and working on being able to hit multiple shots. She was really able to hit a wicked sharp cross court and was the master at sneaking in a roll shot and disguising it as a hard swing. She tallied 104 kills this season, which is impressive considering that she set the ball in most rotations. She had a .132 hitting percentage. She had 150 service points and tallied 25 aces. She accrued 544 assists for the season. Really, this player did it all for her team, and she truly played each and every game for her teammates. She is incredibly coachable and fun to watch. When she stepped onto the floor, it was always with lots of passion and effort to get the job done. She earned all conference honors and 2nd team all-district this season. The 2023 overall MVP is junior Jolie Parker. Like 39,000 minutes. Joe, I am excited to get to work with you one more season. Your love for the game is contagious. The way you play games sets the tone for anyone watching. They learn what it takes to play the game through watching you because you always lead by example. Okay, once again, girls, thank you for an amazing season. I've enjoyed our time together. I look forward to all the hard work that you'll continue to put forth into next season. I always kind of like to end my remarks with a line that Coach Pope used last year. That if you all think that this whole deal is about a scoreboard or trophies, then you're really missing out on something special. Girls, I cherish all the memories that we've created. And most importantly, I hope you realize the importance of being part of a team, the beauty of working together to achieve our goals. I look forward to reaching more of our goals together next season. Thank you, girls, once again. I love you all. And I'm beyond blessed to have coached each and every one of you this season. And before I pass this on to Coach McDaniel, and I promise I'm really close, for girls golf, I do need to give an extra special thank you to Coach Ritter. And I know she didn't want me to do this, but nah, oh well. You have been so awesome to work alongside with. I love the bond that you and both Coach Barnes and I have created. I loved coaching you when you were in high school. Yes, I'm that old, all right? Because you were that kid that brought the energy. You were so much fun to be around. You were always in a great mood. It was easy to coach you because of that. It has been even better getting to work with you. Your love for the game is great, but even better is your love you have for each of these athletes. Thank you for building such great relationships with these girls. The Dragon Volleyball program is better because of you. I will always consider you a part of this team, but we wish you the best, and we hope you bring that little baby around so we can snuggle and spoil the little, what are we thinking, guys? Boy, girl. All right, the little one. We all love you, and if you change your mind, we will gladly take you back. Okay, I'm done. Okay. Thank you.
Ladies, save the tears because we have not accepted that resignation yet.
Deal.
3 magic words, pending suitable replacements. So it ain't done yet, girl. All right. Last but definitely not least, batting cleanup tonight. Little pun there because her husband is the head baseball coach. Batting cleanup tonight is our girls golf program and our girls golf coach, Rachel McDaniel. So, is that for her or me? Her. All right, Coach McDaniel.
First of all, if you have not seen their cup castle, you should just know, cross country and volleyball, that's what I expect next year. So just take notes, and I would expect nothing less from them. First, I have to start with a lot of thank yous, so bear with me. First, I want to thank the district for the opportunity to represent. Other schools are picking up girls golf, but we have seemed to be on the forefront of this. So being a 10-year-old program now, people are looking to us as they're building their programs and starting their programs. So thank you to the district for having girls golf and being at the leading edge of this. Dr. Nix in the athletic department, our schedule's highly competitive. We play great teams. We travel quite a bit. I know we talk quite a bit. I don't think our schedule had quite as many changes this year, so that was great. Like Coach Bosler said, you're a great sounding board. I tell everybody all the time, Dr. Nix is the best athletic director. We go places and I hear other coaches talk about it. I'm serious, like all the props. He's never treated golf like second tier. We're always first tier. When I call him, he answers and maybe laughs when he hangs up instead of while I'm still on the phone asking questions. So I appreciate all your support. You really are the best around. SGHS, faculty and staff, my students miss a lot of school, like a lot. And when you coach boys golf, that's a great thing. But when you coach girls golf, they hate that. So I appreciate our teachers and our staff wanting to work with my student athletes who miss your class just as much as you miss having them in class. So I appreciate that. Chad Shilley and the golf course for the use of the course and the facilities, to helping us host the golf camp in the summer, to hosting a golf tournament, to dealing with our shenanigans. And as we've learned this season and past seasons, we get treated really well at our home golf course. So I can't thank them enough for our support of our program and allowing us to continue to use the facilities and all their support. The community center, Brad Arnold, Brian Geck. Unfortunately, we had to have more indoor practices this year than we ever have during girls golf due to heat. So I appreciate them making the time and the space for us to have our netting systems and to go in there and swing when otherwise we couldn't. Mike Boyd and the Herald, sometimes Daily Journal, KTJJ, J98 for all their coverage. Dr. Jamie Drury for taking our girls to a JV match where she did indeed ride the bus with the girls and took them to, what was it, Raising Cane's? Yeah. So I appreciate her stepping up and taking those girls when I couldn't be two places at once, so I appreciate her jumping in and doing that. Coach Mueller, he wasn't around as much this season as he wanted to be, but he was my first phone call whenever I needed something just to bounce stuff off of. So even though he wasn't around physically, I knew I could call him and be like, hey, I got a question, what do you think? And he always had a suggestion, so I appreciate that. My husband, we have a 5-month-old, but during the beginning of the season, she was a whole like 2.5, 3-month-old. And I'm not even going to insult him by calling him Mr. Mom, because he's not. He's just a super dad. He's always all in. He never bats an eyelash when I say I'm going to be late, when I'm leaving at 5 a.m., and he has to take the brunt of the early morning wake-ups with 2 kids, picking them up, taking them there, and just being a super dad. So I appreciate that. My parents, holy cow, my parents. I said I need snacks and drinks, and you guys deliver. I say I need a place to store them, and you deliver. I said, hey, I need people to work concessions, and you sign up. I say, hey, we've got to host senior night. Oh, by the way, the rain may come. Oh, the rain's not coming. Oh, yeah, it's coming. We're going to cancel it, but we're going to do it this way, and you just rolled with it. You made the homecoming parade happen. You are incredibly supportive not only of me, but you show up in numbers for your girls. So I appreciate that. And then I said, hey, so can some of you drive equipment? And you said, sure. Whatever I asked, you guys just stepped up. And so I know every coach is going to get up there and say they have the best parents in the business, but gosh darn it, mine are the best. So I really appreciate that. And then my players. You make the time away from my family worth it. And if it would have been any other team or any other group of girls, there is no way you could have convinced me to come back and coach fall golf with a 2.5-month-old and a 4-year-old at home. So thank you for being you and making it worth it. You're my why. Okay. A decade of girls golf at SGHS. That is so surreal. I just gave my first banquet speech last year, and there's no way that I'm 10 years older. That first year, I had 3 girls to talk about for varsity golf. Tonight, I have the privilege of talking about 13 incredible young ladies in JV and varsity golf. But I know 10 years have passed because we have grown so much, and not just in our numbers. As any coach feels, there's always like a pie in the sky dream of what we want from our athletes. For me, I want my athletes to play golf all spring and summer. I want them to take private swing lessons. I want them to give 110% in practice and competitions. Oh, and I want them to practice outside of practice during the season. Every year I tell my players what I want and what they can do to get better. And I mentioned these things. So while I was a little preoccupied this summer, I enjoy getting messages from Chad at the golf course or Coach Mueller telling me, hey, I just saw so-and-so on the golf course. Or, hey, just so you know, this person checked in. Hey, all your kids that you were expecting, they signed up for golf camp. They're all coming. What? So then, from there, I started getting other messages. Hey, Coach, I'm looking for a private swing coach. Do you have anybody? Sure do. Send you a message. I loved getting those messages. So then when the season started, and every one of my golfers had played a round of golf and or hit a driving range in the summer, it was a first. Not only that, I had multiple girls that were taking swing lessons with coaches during the summer and continued to see them all season long. Okay, so that's 2 of my 4 things. What about the other 2? I couldn't wait to see what the season held and to see if the other 2 things would happen. I wasn't disappointed. And it was everything I thought it would be. I say it year after year. I loathe talking about our record. I often don't give it to Dr. Nix to put on the banquet program. You won't see it. It doesn't represent us. It doesn't represent our growth. And it doesn't represent our accomplishments. All that said, our varsity 9-hole match record was 11-5. And at one point this season, we were 6-0. We were undefeated, a stat I typically don't get to boast. Our 18-hole record was 30-32. And I know, to a sports statistician, again, I'm married to the baseball coach, that is a little worse than 500. But honestly, it's one of our best records. The stats don't tell you our varsity placed 5th out of 13 teams at our home tournament, 2nd at the St. Clair Invitational, which is our 2nd year in a row, we did that last year, out of 12 teams, or that we placed 6th out of 11 teams at the Class II District 1 golf tournament, our highest finish in program history. Our record doesn't tell you we qualified not 1, but 2 players to the Class II state tournament this year, something we haven't done since 2016. Better yet, both players are underclassmen and returning next season. Our JV, while I won't report our 9-hole match record, I will say they placed 9th out of 13 teams at our home varsity tournament, beating out a few varsity programs. The moral of the story, never judge a program or a team by their record, especially this one. I believe in setting goals every season. It's important that we aren't just competing against other schools and that we are aiming for something score-wise outside of wins. Our goals this year are realistic, but will require the best efforts of everyone on our team. We wanted to tie last year's 9-hole team score of 182, shoot 400 as a team for 18 holes, and have a team GPA of 3.5. We came up short of the 9-hole goal, shooting 189 as our best this season. We sadly beat our 18 holes tournament team score, not once but twice, shooting 389 at our home tournament and then 383 the following week at the St. Clair Invitational. Last year, when we beat the 18-hole team score school record, there were some unique characteristics in place. The course was shortened, and it was an automatic 2-putt rule. And while I hated to do it, that record was going to have an asterisk next to it. We talked about it as a team, and we decided we wanted to beat it, no asterisks about it. So our team score of 389, which was 97 to par, beats the previous record from 2016, which was 105 to par. And what I loved about beating this record was the balanced team effort. Of the 4 scores that counted, there was a 10-stroke spread from the lowest score to the highest. Now for the GPA, which was very fun to figure out how to calculate. Without calculating our freshmen who won't have a GPA until January, our team GPA was 3.4017. So a little shy of the 3.5, but pretty dang good for a group of athletes who missed a lot of school for their sport. So all in all, in terms of meeting our goals, I'm calling it a win. Coming off a summer with a newborn, I really debated whether coaching in the fall was the right thing to do for me, my family, or my girls. I'd be lying if I said there weren't a lot of doubts and anxiety, maybe some tears in the days leading up to the first practice. However, from day one, these girls made my doubts disappear. They were engaged, excited, coachable. Even on our hardest days, we all found a way to join together and work towards our goals. When one person was down, we picked each other up. It was a beautiful thing. As always, these girls kept me on my toes. Thankfully, I didn't repeat any appropriate words in any foreign languages this year. I learned that last year. However, I did learn some things. G is for Jesus. I'm just going to leave that there. Also, apparently you're not supposed to wear a t-shirt under a hoodie.
It's news to me too.
Thank you for that, because he just said that's news too, so I just want to say, so I think one of them did tell me that they do wear a t-shirt under the hoodie just to make me not feel alone. But not a single one of them is team t-shirt under the hoodie. And after the words, your generation got thrown out, my millennial self had to check in with other generations. And after polling other generations, that is your generation thing and not mine. So there's that. And despite how old you made me feel, I learned I still get confused for a high school golfer. Right, Carly? She's my only witness, so I'm hoping she nods her head. So I can't be that old, right? All right. Now I want to spend some time talking about each of them so you can stare at them a little bit. Starting with my freshman, I'm going to start with Keely Palmer. I talk really slow, so you're the only one up here for a while. No, I'm just kidding. Switching sides, I never thought I'd get the opportunity to coach Braylon's younger volleyball-playing sister, but I am so glad I did. Keely improved dramatically from the beginning of the season. From shooting 67 in our August 30th JV match to shooting 54 in our September 28th JV match, Keely added to her success with a 6th-place JV finish at the St. Clair Invitational. With continued work in the offseason, I know Keely will make more cuts to her scores next fall. Kirsten Reeves. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, Kirsten started her competitive season late this year. But talk about a team player. Kirsten didn't miss practices and matches, and even though she could not play, she was still there rooting on her teammates. Kirsten, like Keely, improved drastically from her first swing to her last swing of the season. Her best finish of the season was at the St. Clair Invitational, where she placed 9th at the JV level in her first 18-hole round of your career. Maybe in your life, I think. And she placed 9th in her first one. I'm hopeful that she will continue to swing the club this spring and summer and come into the next fall ready to hit the ground running and get a full competitive season. Sophomores, Lily Kay. I don't remember which one of you said G for Jesus. I feel like you were there, but I don't know if it was you. Okay, they're pointing. There it is. There was something about Lily I couldn't put my finger on last season, and after watching her this season, I figured out that she's just extremely competitive, like real competitive. It's that spirit that drives her steady improvement from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. Lily's first 18-hole tournament score of the season was 122, but she fired a 106 at her home tournament just weeks later. Within a month, she went from shooting 57 to 51 for 9 holes. The high point of Lily's season was her JV first place finish at the St. Clair Invitational. I'm going to challenge Lily to play more golf this summer so when her junior season starts, she's in mid-season form in August, and I think she'll rise to that challenge. Allison Loudenback. Baby back. Okay, moving on because I don't really want to talk about Allison. I asked Allison what I should say in my speech about her, and she just goes, just say, eh. So now that I've said that, I'm going to say what I was going to say. Allison is a fighter. Outside of the varsity to start the season, she slowly found her way onto the roster and pretty much stayed there, finding her way onto the district roster at the end of the season. If you can believe it, she actually slowed her swing down, and the results were amazing. Her best 9-hole match was the last match of the season when she shot 50. Her best 18-hole match was at her home tournament where she shot 103. I'm counting on big things from Allison next season, so I'm hoping she will use the off-season to hone her skills so she can dominate next fall. Eleanor McClin. Or is it McKinley? Sorry. No, I'm not. I still think that's funny. It got misspelled, and it was kind of great because golf, Scottish, Irish. Eleanor's extremely competitive and a reflective practitioner. While, of course, she wants to beat whomever she's playing, she also wants to beat her best scores. When she makes a mistake, it drives her to work on that one thing. Next time, there's not going to be a next time. It's not how she operates. Eleanor had a fantastic sophomore season, starting out with a medalist finish at our opening match of the season with a score of 44. 2, placing 10th and shooting 93 at the Class 2 district tournament, which earned her all district honors and a trip to the state golf tournament, all as a sophomore, the youngest in program history. Not bad for our fiery little sophomore. Now, Eleanor never left the varsity roster, and I could count on her all season to come in and be a major contributor to the team. Despite all the pressure, she excelled and thrived. And now that she's been to the big show, I just know she will be making a return visit and making a huge splash in Springfield. I'm so confident I booked the hotel today for next October. I know she will take the off-season to improve all parts of her game and come ready to take on the world in the fall. Lydia Vaith. So is G really for Jesus then? Or she's like, no? I love that you just threw each other under the bus. I was glad to see I didn't scare her away. I think I did scare her last season. I think her shyness has worn off, and I finally started to see what makes her take on the golf course. Her best 9-hole score of the season was a 64, 10 strokes better than her best last season. On top of that, Lydia shot 116 at the St. Clair Invitational to place 5th individually for the JV. I'm extending the same challenge to Lydia that I did Lily. Use the off-season to shake off the rust so next season she's ready to start in mid-season form. Lindley Wiener. This girl really made headway this season. Her best 18-hole score last season, 110. This season, 105. Her best 9-hole score last season, 56. Her best 9-hole score this season, 54. However, this season her 9-hole scores came in at the varsity level, a place where Lindley found herself a lot this season. While just missing a trip to districts, Lindley made her presence known this season. Not that you don't know when Lindley is around, because trust me, you know. Just going to leave that, I think. My hope is that Lindley, like her other sophomore teammates, will use the off-season to get herself ready for the best season yet come next fall. Juniors, starting with Carly Bosler. Carly's even-keel, positive vibes only demeanor on the golf course is something I wish I could give to every player I coach. It's this demeanor that continues to lead many great outings for Carly. Some high points, shooting 43 at home to lead the team in our best 9-hole team score of the season, placing 9th at the St. Clair Invitational, placing 4th individually at the St. Pius Invitational, to shooting her career best in 86 at the Class 2 District 1 tournament, placing 3rd and earning all district honors on her way to qualifying for the Class 2 state golf tournament. You were a little busy. Finishing 31st at the state golf tournament is quite an accomplishment for a junior. I know Carly will continue to work hard this off-season and she'll be ready to rock her senior season. I can't wait to see what she brings to the table next fall. Jenna Clayton, Jean. I gotta tell the story. Brooke Kepska's wifey now, I guess it's wifey, her name is Jenna, but it always gets misspelled as Jean, so I just started calling her Jean. I don't think she likes it. We're moving on. Jenna made big improvements from last season to this season. Her best 9-hole score from last season was a 71. Her best 9-hole score this season was a 64. Talk about a jump. While I know her progress felt slow and stayed at times, Jenna grew more than her scores tell. Mentally, she was better equipped to handle the frustrations of the game and work through some tough swing changes. Like I've said about 10 different ways already, I'm hopeful she will be ready to work in the off-season to get out the kinks and come back next year to finish her golf career with gusto. Lillian Holman. I don't think she's here. We'll give her some claps in. Braylon Palmer. Braylon's junior season fell short of what either one of us wanted. She came to practice, and she would say, Coach, what's going on? She's asking all these questions, and we're trying to figure it out, and we just couldn't get there. So Braylon sought out a swing coach mid-season and began to fine-tune her swing and figure it out. And we started to see this translate into 2 9-hole rounds in the 50s, as well as a second-place individual finish on the JV side of things at the St. Clair Invitational. I wholeheartedly believe Braylon's best golf is ahead of her. I hope she looks at me. I wholeheartedly believe that your best golf is ahead of you. With some continued work in the off-season and some rounds over the summer, I know she will have the season she so deserves to wrap up her golf career at SGHS. Seniors, Addison Heberly. I should have nicknamed you Wild Card. That came way too late. I don't know why that came too late. Although this season I knew more of what I was getting than I did last season, Addison's season was going along swimmingly. 57, 53, 49 in her matches, and 106 and 100 respectively at Lindbergh and our home golf tournament. Then enter the one thing a senior never wants for their final season, an injury. Not just any injury, a random back, rib, shoulder, injury that we just couldn't get a handle on. We couldn't figure it out. Addison earned herself a position on the district roster where she fought hard to turn in her best score, but her injury prevented her from ending her season on the high note she so deserved. I'm so glad Addison decided to join us for the past 2 years, and I'm so sad I won't get 2 more. I'm hoping she will continue to play golf, and I know there are some scramble teams that will definitely want her drive from the Red Tees. And then our final senior, Hope Schmelzley. Hope came to us as a first-year senior after years of volleyball. I knew she was an athlete. I didn't know she had played golf before and had as much natural ability as she showed. That was a very welcome surprise. Hope led the team in scoring average after the qualifiers and didn't disappoint. She turned in 18-hole scores of 114, 113, and 108 respectively, as well as 9-hole scores of 51 and 58. I really wish she would have gotten one last home match on senior night because I just know it was going to be her lowest round of the season. What I found most enjoyable about Hope was her positive attitude and her ability to find the good in every shot, practice, and competition. Golf is a mental grind, and being able to stay positive when things are going astray can be tough and hard to teach in only one season. Hope was ahead of the game by coming into a season with this mindset. While I'm thankful for the season I did get with Hope, selfishly I wanted 3 more. Like Addison, I'm hoping she sticks with golf and finds herself on scramble teams in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, your SGHS Girls Golf Team. I have some awards. First, I want to start with Spirit of the Game. First, I always quote it every year. Ben Hogan once said, "Your name is the most important thing you own. Don't ever do anything to disgrace or cheapen it." This award goes to an individual who embodies this quote in the spirit of the game of golf. Great integrity, great work ethic, great manners and etiquette, as well as a deep love and passion for the game of golf. This golfer knows the rules of golf in and out and is not afraid to enforce them. And if I gave this award to my enforcers of the game, the rules of the game, I could award it to almost everyone on this team. And these girls know how to make this rule-following coach really happy. And while the recipient of this award is a steadfast defender of the game of golf, her reason for receiving this award speaks more to her spirit of the game and representing herself in a way that is respectful of her name and the program. Let me take you to a cold morning in October in Joplin. It's the first day of the state golf tournament. Very nervous sophomore hits the range after some weird swing quirks showed up in yesterday's practice round. Hopeful it's just a fluke, and today will be better. Yet within the first 10 shots, it's evident the quirks were there to stay, and she would have to battle them, all while staying mentally tough to turn in the best score that she could. A lesser player would have shut down, asked to withdraw, throw clubs, maybe cursed a little, walked slowly between shots, abandoned all strategy and just hit the ball with a careless attitude. But not this player. It's not how she's built, but she worried. She's playing with 2 other players who are literally having the rounds of their lives. And she can play like they can, but who's going to believe her after a round like today? After a hard-fought day, it's finally over. Her coach finds her to take the walk to the scoring area. But before they can get too far off the green, the coaches of the other 2 players make a beeline for her and her coach. They both shake the player's hand and tell her that they know it wasn't the round that she had planned for today, and that they were impressed. I already cried about this once. They were impressed with how she held herself on the golf course, and that they admired her attitude and composure despite the circumstances. Her coach is really thankful for the sunglasses that are hiding her tears, because she knows that is everything this player needed to hear from someone that isn't her own coach. And better yet, it's from 2 other coaches who recognized a very talented player having an off round when they see one. This year's very deserving Spirit of the Game Award is Eleanor McClellan. The next award I want to present is the Most Improved Player Award. Again, everyone on my roster is deserving of the award. We all made, R.I.P. Bogey Hills. And her lowest was a 46. Last year, her best score for 9 holes was 53, big improvement. Her highest 18-hole score this season was 114, and her lowest was a 90. Last year, her best 18-hole score was 122. Again, another large jump. And while her score improvements were dramatic, I believe the change in her demeanor this season from beginning to the end was her biggest improvement. This year's recipient of the Most Improved Player Award is Lillian Holman. And the last varsity award for the evening is the Most Valuable Golfer Award. Like last season's recipient of this award, this player's score counted in every single varsity match and tournament this season. Her regular season 9-hole scoring average was 47.43, and her regular season 18-hole scoring average was 95.67. Her 94 at the Bulldog Invitational was enough to earn her 9th place, and her 90 at the St. Pius Invitational earned her 4th place individually. She placed 3rd at districts, earning all district honors and qualifying for the Class II state golf tournament. Her tie 31st place finish at the state tournament is the 3rd best finish of any individual state qualifier in program history. This year's Most Valuable Golfer award goes to Carly Bosler. Ladies, before you sit down though, I've got 2 more things. First, I got to thank you again. You made every practice, every match, every tournament, every van and bus ride worth it. You are the sole reason coaching is worth it, and I can't thank you enough for being you, trusting my process, working hard day in and day out, and representing this program in the manner in which you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And second, remember those things I dreamed about at the beginning, practicing in the off season, seeking out those swing coaches? Can you do that again? Because I got big dreams for next season. It's kind of like taking a team somewhere, kind of big, somewhere in Springfield, maybe play a little golf 2 days in a row. And I think if I'm looking at you guys, you have the potential to do that. So, thank you.
Great job, girls golf. Unlike the 2 cross-country meets that I went to where it was extremely hot the first time and misting and a little cold the second time, the golf ones I went to were sunny and 72 every single time. So I don't know what that was about. But okay, before we leave, we had to draw a 50-50 winner and the banner winners. If you were an award winner tonight, so you got a medal or a plaque tonight, or if you were all conference, all district, so forth, stick around. We'll take your group pictures out in the commons right in front of the trophy case. So don't take off. I'll do golf, volleyball, and again in groups. I'll do you guys separately, okay? So don't take off. All award winners and postseason award winners, okay? All right. 50-50. If you have the winning ticket, just find me right after this rather than making me walk up in front of everybody. We don't want you getting jumped outside for your $43. Hey, there is a lot of money. There are a lot of tickets in here, though. Okay, the winner of 50-50 for this evening is 354-0568. I think it's tougher every year. 354-0568. All right. I didn't hear any woohoos, so we'll see. All right. Banners. If I call your name, you can grab the banner on your way out. If I don't call your name, don't grab the banner on your way out. Cross country. Gavin Zerwig. Volleyball. Emma Gegg. And golf. Eleanor. All right. Thank you for coming tonight, everybody. Have a great evening.